Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to our pricing in 10 minutes summary. Today, I'd like to talk about structured price improvement plans, especially for B2B in brackets software companies, how to set up such programs, and how to get most out of every single customer. So, in a nutshell, a structured price improvement plan is nothing else than, in a structured, clustered, differentiated way, go through your entire customer base and review the pricing strategy for the next account renewal, which includes what is the opportunity? Do we upsell, cross-sell, increase prices, reduce discounts, or anything else? How do we do that? By what extent? What magnitude? What are the tactics behind it, and so on. At the end of such a program, you get a plan for the next usually 12 months in every single detail what to do with every single client. It often starts with data cleaning, which is not the easiest way because the better the data, the better the result. So what we usually need or wish to have are historical price increases, historical volume effects, product history, product integration, historical license prices, usage data, and so on. We don't need it all, but the more we have, the better the program will be, because usually these data points will be price drivers if you are aiming for more or if you are shooting a little bit lower. Typically, and you see it here where my mouse cursor is there's no one single price opportunity called price increase, but very often it's a volume upsell, it's a cross-sell, it's a price increase, it's a move to the different packages. There are many ways that how a price improvement plan can be implemented, and thus this is something that we need to set up the scale of opportunities at the beginning of the project. In total, we have 10 different steps of such a project. It starts with strategic guidelines. What are the opportunities? Then we conduct competitive mystery shopping or benchmarking. Then we define what we want and can do on each customer level. Then we cluster our clients to make it a little less complicated than touching every customer individually. Then we develop on step 5 improvement tactics. We optimize every single price point for each client. We develop sales material to ensure that the sales team is properly trained and prepared. We develop an implementation process. We enable the sales team with everything they need. We create a business case. And then once it's ongoing, the whole program, we also report and calibrate to get out the last 10% out of every program. The typical consulting pricing project ends at step 6. So this is the most conceptual part. We very often go all the way simply because we have a very operative team who worked in sales and pricing in many companies. And thus, if you take the first 9 steps, a typical time frame is between 10 and 12 weeks. And the last step is usually ongoing to calibrate after the go live. 5 key success factors that I'd like to stress. First, look at competition. Second, do clustering. Do not do one-size-fits-all price increases. Third, WTP, so measure the willingness to pay of clients and validate it properly. Fourth, execution is key. And fifth, iterate after the launch. Very brief deep dive into the 5 topics. Firstly, competition. If you are a B2B company and competitive pricing is very opaque, then mystery shopping may be an option. If the pricing is on the website, then obviously it's much easier. But understanding the competition one way or the other usually helps you to understand how far you can go with your price improvement plan. Take this example here. We've had a customer who was priced at 14.5K per year, and it was a software business still on license and maintenance. And when we wanted to move them to SaaS, we saw that the competitors were 3 times higher in terms of pricing. Thus, we also aimed for a significant price increase. It's very important to understand the competitive offerings because that's the alternative the customers have. And also internally, it's very important that the sales team understands that they may not be the most expensive in the market, but that the alternatives may be rather more expensive than cheaper. Then you also win the sales team and they will work with you way more effectively afterwards. Secondly, clustering. Every customer will react differently to a price increase. That's why upfront we determine which customer clusters may react, let's say, harshly, and which may just eat the price increase, so to say. And you see here that we usually have 5 to 6 different clusters for all of the companies we worked with. And here for a price increase program, for example, we had clusters between 10 and 30% price increase. And here for a migration to SaaS, for example, we had clusters between plus 50 and 180% in terms of price increase. Why do you do clustering? It's very easy. If you do the flat price improvement program here on the red line, basically, you have churners because some customers will not have the willingness to pay. And for some customers, you simply do not tap the full willingness to pay. If you do it in a differentiated way, you meet the customer's willingness to pay in a way better way, and then you get more out of each client. We saw in the past that the price increase and the take rate afterwards do not necessarily correlate, which means some customer groups still have a way higher willingness to pay than others. And then also, despite the higher price they pay for the same product, will be way less likely to churn. The third point is tapping willingness to pay, and willingness to pay can be based on different factors. It can be the new price, obviously. It can be switching costs. So how much is the software or the solution integrated into the system today? A customer health score, which can be based on industry, duration of the customer relationship, number of users, intensity of usage, etc. And overall the churn risk that is mainly estimated through NPS or through sales teams' estimates. It's very vital that you ask willingness to pay the right way. If you ask your sales team, for example, directly, what do you think is the willingness to pay? So how much can we increase prices for high-risk customers and for best-case customers? You will see that the difference is very, very low. If you ask it indirectly to the same sales team in a conjoint measurement style pricing questionnaire, so for example, how much more does a willingness to pay would be if you have a customer from industry X, from country Y, with usage Z, then you will see that the spread is way bigger. Thus always ask indirectly, and you will see the full scope of potential price increases, which in one case that we've had were 2 million in extra EBITDA from a larger spread of price increases alone. When you identify the drivers for price increases, for example, usage, interest into the new product, number of users, sensitivity, and so on, customer happiness, then you can create a churn score or retention score, and based on it, you can then also model the price increase. In this case, again, migration to subscription, twice the price than the old one, but of course, there can also be other customers with way lower willingness to pay. Once the conceptual work is done, execution is key. Otherwise, you have the typical problem of a breakup point after a consulting project. So we create customer communication packages, letters, emails. We develop sales support material, argumentation guidelines, PDFs, sales stories, and so on. Also partner and manufacturer guides if there's third-party sales. Business case tools, offer packages to have also different alternatives for sales, and battle cards, price improvement cards that have like guidelines for the sales team for every single customer, how much they should bring, what's the walkaway price, what's the sales incentive behind it if they match the price, and so on. We create a lot of tactics, positive incentives, negative incentives to ensure that the customer take rate will be higher. Otherwise, there are always a lot of customers, usually around 30%, who will object the new offer, and we need tactics for them to also mitigate the churn risk. Skip a bit to the end. Of course, there's a business case. Of course, we iterate at the end. So once you're done and you're in the implementation phase, Do not use your initially planned price increase for 12 months, but ensure that you iterate the learnings along the way. If you see that your take rate is higher than expected, you could think about, like in this case here, create an even more expensive version so that you say, hey, you're regularly migrating to this offer, but there's another premium offer on top. It may not yield additional sales for this premium plus, but the take rate for the regular product is even higher. And if you see on the other side that your price may be too high, then just lower it over time so that the price improvement plan becomes better and better. That's it. Of course, we talk about all our pricing topics, including price improvement plans in our podcast, Pricing Trends, for example, with these software experts. So feel free to tune in. It's in German. But nevertheless, I hope you enjoy listening. That's it for today. Thanks for watching and hope to speak soon.